ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओके हरे कृष्णा। तौ संतोषयता सन्तौ श्रीलरूप सनातनौ दाक्षिणात्येन भट्टेन पुनरेतद्विविच्यते तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितम् पर्यालोच्याथ पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः। Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Sandarbha session. There is a little change. I think students are only four students on site. 5. Where is 5th? 10. Only 5. Okay. Where is 5th one? I'm seeing. Yeah, acha. Okay, we'll continue our discussion, yesterday's discussion. So what we were discussing yesterday, what we learned. So can anyone just 2 minutes recap? At least points. few points. So, Tapomay Prabhu, tell me. Tapomay Prabhu. Today's class is a bit important, little bit. Yes.
To discuss about the karma is rejected for both jnana and bhakti. And this to you that is said also in the Bhagavatam 11:29 verse. And that is says as long as one does not become detached from the detached from daily prescribed activity, but one done the nityanamitic karma only for the pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If it is karma, but when it is for pleasing the Lord, then it is supreme. Give also supreme.
What do you want to say? From this Nityanayamatic karma for pleasing the Lord is supreme. This I said yesterday.
This verse is the tabat karmani.
Give to Rangamay Prabhu. Rangamay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, no, no, no. Oh, sorry.
Yes, what do you?
Oh, yesterday I absent because I went Vrindavan.
So you are not there. So then give to our Saranakant.
Prabhu, actually, in Seda, and there is objection. Actually, Siddhant Pokshi, they are objecting. They are telling, their question is that pure karma and jnana and bhakti are mentioned. Means earlier we have discussed, but nitya and naimittic karmas are necessary for all those methods. Means while performing karma, bhakti, and jnana. So there will be some nitya naimittic karma like doing archana, then some samskaras. So this kind of nitya naimittic karma will be there. So if karma is that nitya naimittic karma is necessary for practicing jnana or bhakti, then how can pure jnana or bhakti is possible? So for that, Srila Jiva Goswami is telling that that is not so. It is not like that. Karma is rejected in both cases. Means in performing jnana, means pure jnana and pure bhakti, karma, there will be no karma. It is completely rejected in that case. How it is? So at the time, Jiva Goswami referring 11, 20, and 9, 9 birds. That until or unless one become detached in material pleasure or material pleasure, and until and unless one is not developing taste for hearing Krishna Gatha, he should perform karma. It means Here's telling that when as soon as he gets taste in hearing Krishna Katha, or he detached from the material pleasure, then he can perform pure bhakti actually. Otherwise, he should go on his karma. No need to come in karma. So Srila when Sridhar Swami is giving a tika that here actually karma means the karmas.
That means one should do nitya naimitya karma unless one should get the detachment or otherwise shraddha. That means if once get the detachment in for the material pleasure or otherwise shraddha in Krishna Katha, then he can leave the nitya naimitya karma also. So that is the understanding. Yes. So that's why. So Srila Jiva Goswami, by referring this sloka, so he is refuting the objection raised by the opponent. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Somebody else.
Somebody else. Tired. Then who will tell next? Sadhguru Prabhu, you are there in yesterday's class. After that, what happened? Akinchan Krishna, you are not there, na? No. Yes. Where is our Rambhadra Priya Prabhu? What happened to Rambhadra Priya Prabhu? He's not there.
Acha. He's giving some other class in online.
Acha, he's giving class. Okay. Okay, next. Subhangi Mataji, yes, please. After that, Mataji, can you unmute your mic?
Yes, Prabhuji. Now I am given the option. Yes, Prabhuji. I'll try to summarize, Prabhuji. After what Prabhuji said, Jiva Goswami gives one more example, and he states that whoever is entering into Ananya Bhakti, who has Shraddha, then they have the right to leave karma. And then he further states, we further saw the example of 11.5.41, Bhutapta Nirnanam, that shloka. Devarshi Bhutapta. So in that shloka, what is mentioned is, if the person is a surrendered soul, then he need not do nitya and naimitika karma. And then we saw how to balance the surrendered soul as a form of shraddha. So in that word, that kartam word we took, and it means vedam, which means it means it is not independent from the Lord. So that is what we said. Demigods and everybody else, they are not independent from the Lord. So they are not different from the Lord. So you gave the example of an invitation when it is given to the head of the family. It means everybody is included. So in that aspect, they do not have to do that. And then we further saw Garuda Purana's example also. As long as they do not worship Vishnu, they have to offer respect for others. So once they start worshipping Vishnu, then there is no need for worshipping any other demigods. So this there is no obligation for them to worship or respect demigods. That we saw, Prabhuji. So and then we saw a new point. What you said, if at all a person, now we saw earlier, if they are performing some sin, what to do. So for that, we saw a point, if at all they are worshipping Hari, they are with Shraddha, and by some means or the other, they are committing some mistake. Is atonement necessary for them? That is also not necessary. That is what we saw. So somehow or the other, because he's taking shelter of the Lord, there is no possibility for him to do any other activity. That is one thing that we saw, because he is remembering Krishna all the time. So automatically it cleanses his heart and there is no bad reactions. That is one thing that we saw. And then we saw the Karabhajana Muni, what he states. So we saw whoever takes exclusive shelter of the Lord's feet, even if somehow or the other he does vikarma, then the Lord dunoti sarvam, that word you said, Prabhuji. That means he cleanses the heart of them. So in this way, he develops love and affection for the Lord, and he gives respect for them. So, and then
that means this sloka, one second, Madhu. This sloka is mainly for saying that, so whoever is doing Ananya Bhakti is somehow or other, that means Vikarma, Yachot Patitam Katam Chit, that means somehow or other, if he does, sometimes maybe it happens by him performing the sinful activities. So for that, So what Krishna is going to do, being in the heart of the devotee, he cleanses that. So that's why he doesn't need to do any atonement. That means prayaschitta karma. That means he doesn't need to do any karma, prayaschitta karma. So by him, that is the main point we should understand from this Karabhajan's point.
Yes. Yes. And we saw the important significance of the words tyaktva anya bhavasya. That means the person accepts the Lord as the supreme. He gives respect for others, but he will not give that position of the supreme personality of Godhead to anybody else. So that also we saw. And then that Sharanapati word and shelter, the equating Shraddha and Sharanapati. Yeah. Shraddha and Sharanapati, that also we saw. In the end, we concluded that Shraddha is taking, because what is the conclusion of scripture? The conclusion of scripture is whoever takes shelter of the Lord does not have fear, and whoever does not take shelter has fear. So believing is accepting shelter. And how you can say one is accepting shelter? When he surrenders to the Lord. So Sharanapati is a symptom of Shraddha. With that, we concluded, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata. Thank you very much. Really good. Yeah. So finally, we concluded that Sharanapati is the symptom of Shraddha. So that means whoever is having the Shastrartha Vishwasa, that means whoever is believing the conclusions of the Shastra, means he should be surrendered soul. So definitely he will become a surrendered soul. So because the conclusion of Shastra is what? Whoever is surrendering to the Lord, he will not be getting any fear. Whoever is not surrendering to the Lord, he will be having fear. So because of this, so whoever is believing the conclusion of this statement, so then he will definitely get the Sharanapati, that means surrenderance. So that's why surrenderance is the symptom of Shraddha. This point. So I believe so everyone is understanding. So then after that, we are going to the further. Nacha devadi tarpana matra tatparyenapi pratak aradhanam kartavyam. So here one new point now here. So yes, one who is doing the Ananya Bhakti, that means he is fully worshipping Krishna. So by him, there is no need to do separately worshipping of demigods and so, demigods, forefathers, and so. No need. So that is, and we can give here to, then okay, this is a statement. They don't need to do any separate worship of others, demigods, so and so. Why? Because yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyanti tatsakaha bujopaskandaha. So like this is a sloka is there, 431:14. 431:14. Yatha taror moola nishechanena. So what this is sloka is saying? In this sloka, it is said that whoever is offering worship to the Krishna, so by him automatically worshipping of others also is performed only. So yeah, like example is given, if someone is pouring water to the root of a tree, then what is going to happen? So then automatically that water is reaching to all the branches, leaves, twigs, so and so. So that's why there is no need to offer separately water for all these parts of the tree. Just offering the root is enough. Similarly, if one is offering the worship to the Lord is enough, and he doesn't need to worship any other demigods. So if you worship, then what will happen? Tat paunaruktyapattehe. Then there is a punarukti. Punarukti dosha will be coming. Because, so what is going to happen? Already it is said that you are worshipping the demigods by worshipping the Krishna. So then otherwise, and still if you worship so separately demigods, then it is what? Then it is the punarukti dosha. Repeating the same thing. which you should not do at all. Tat paunaruktyapattehe. So then paunarukti, that means this Yathatarormula Nishechanena, this sloka is not going to become a useful one, because you are doing the separate worship. Then what is the value for the Yathatarormula Nishechanena? Is there any value you are giving? You are treating this as just a useless statement, because the statement is saying that no need to worship demigods, but still you are worshipping. So this kind of Punarukti dosha will be coming. Paunarukti apatte. And this is the one point. Next, one more point we are going to see now. Nacha tyakta karmano madhye vignastagitayamapi bhaktau tatyagaanutapo yujyate. Tatyagaanutapo na yujyate. That means, let us take someone is yes, he is following his prescribed duties, and now he got the Shraddha and he left all the prescribed duties, Nitya Naimittik karmas. And he left everything, all the karma, and he is doing the Ananya Bhakti. What happened? Then after that, because of some reasons, his Ananya Bhakti is stopped. Because of some obstacles he got, and he was not able to perform. So further Ananya Bhakti. Already he left the previously, so that means already he left Nitya Naimittik karma and he was not able to do Ananya Bhakti also now. Then what will happen in this case? So then this devotee has to lament for not able to, but for the leaving his karma, his prescribed duties. So does he need to lament for that? There is no need. There is no need to lament. That means someone became full-time devotee, fully dedicated to the Lord's service, 24 hours, engaged in the Lord's direct devotional activities. That activity itself is a devotional activity. It's not karma. And that person, somehow or other, so he was not able to perform now that. And he left his parents, his wife, children, whatever, in between. And he came for the 10 years. So he did full-time service. Fully dedicated he did. But now somehow or other, because of anything, any reason, maybe offenses, because of anything, and he was not able to continue that. Then what will happen? He left the family also, and he didn't perform those duties properly, and he was not able to succeed in the bhakti also. Then does he need to lament? So I am not able to do my duties in my house, in my family. And yeah, what he should think. Then here Shastra is saying, Srila Jiva Goswami is establishing that he doesn't need to lament. And he will never get any sin also. Why? How can you say? There is pramana. Narada Muni is saying to Vasudeva, Yaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan napakko thapate tato yedi. So, Yaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam hare. So, leaving his prescribed duties, and he came he came to worship the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord's lotus feet. Bhajan apakko atha pate tatah yedi. If yedi means if, while worshipping he falls down from there. Falls down means he may left his body or he may got some such a severe obstacle, so he was not able to worship now. So then what? Yatra kvava abhadram abhut amushyakim. What is said in the next line? So even if he lives, yatra kvava abhadram abhut, what kind of loss he is going to have? No loss. He never get to stop his prescribed duties in between. He never get any sin for stopping his prescribed duties in between. And whatever the half devotion he did, uncompleted devotion, that is also not useless. Definitely he will be progressing in the next life. So that's why Kovarda apto swadharmatah abhajatam swadharmatah. So someone is following strictly his prescribed duties and simply keep on following his prescribed duties, and he didn't take up bhakti. And by following strictly his prescribed duties, what he is going to get? Kovarta apto abhajatam swadharmatah. So that means the people who are not worshipping Krishna and simply following the swadharma very strictly and seriously, what they are going to get? They are going to get any benefit? No, zero. Because if they get some money and they enjoy sense gratification, or otherwise they get the swarga because of this strictly following his prescribed duties, they may go get the punya and they may go back to swarga. That's all. And after that, they enjoy it and come back. That means finally they are in the same position. There is no elevation in their spiritual progress. 1 second. Yeah. So, for example, you can see Bharata Maharaj. Bharata Maharaj left everything and he started worshipping the Lord. But all of a sudden, somehow he's got some obstacle in his devotional life. His focus and attention is deviated. He left whole kingdom, wife, children, everything, relatives, everything. And he was simply worshipping the Lord in the forest. But he got attraction towards the deer. And his bhakti stopped now. So did he get any loss? By that attraction, what happened? He got the deer body in the next life. But did he lose any bhakti? No. He keep on thinking the Lord, even in the animal body. And after that, further he got the Jadabarta's body. And he finally continued his devotion and he went back. So ultimately, leaving karma, and if you perform even for the few years also, direct devotional activity, and he is better actually than the who is simply following his prescribed duties. And he is so sincere follower of Varna and Ashrama rules and regulations. He is not superior actually than the person who so left everything and did the Ananya Bhakti for a while. Even in our movement, we see sometimes people, they join and they serve the Lord 10 years, 15 years. And after that, they may go back also sometimes. But still they are wonderful. There is no loss. There is no loss. There is no loss for them because till that time they perform direct devotional activities. Being in this temple, following the regularly programs. So directly doing all the devotion, worshipping, cleaning the temple. All these are all direct devotional activities. And even that much span of time he did. That is all positive credit, devotional credit, Supratam. Because that is the real wealth. So, in the Bhagavad Gita also, yeah. So, without leaving this, simply following the dharma, that's prescribed duties, will not give any substantial result. That is the point. Okay. Even in the Gita also, Sri Gita Sucha, in the Gita it is said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha iti asya देवर्षि भूताप्त नृणाम इत्यादि द्वयेन एकार्थम दृश्यते. See, what is the meaning of this sloka? Sarva dharman parityajya. Here Krishna is saying to Arjuna in the finishing, Sarva dharman parityajya. He is saying to Lord is saying to Arjuna, oh my dear Arjuna, Sarva dharman parityajya. That means leaving all dharmas. Mamekam sharanam vraja. That means you worship, you take shelter in me. Taking shelter, that means you should get shraddha in me. That is nothing but shelter. Wherever sharanam is there, then you can keep shraddha. All two are synonyms. So that means you should have faith in me and surrender to me. And you leave all dharmas. Sarva dharma means all. Pati dharma, putra dharma, this dharma, that dharma, everything. So by leaving all these dharmas, will I get any sin? Shall I incur any sin? So even if I get any, Arjuna may ask, oh my dear Krishna, I can get some sin. What should I do? Then Krishna is saying, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Whatever the sin you are going to get, by leaving all your prescribed duties, I am going to clean those. I will release from those sins. Yes, in the previously also, Karabhajani is saying same thing or not? Karabhajani is also saying, what he is saying, one should take the shelter of the Mukunda. In 11.5.41st sloka, one should take the shelter of the Mukunda, and he doesn't need to offer worship to the Devatas, Bhutas, other human beings, parents, that means Pitru Devatas. He doesn't need to become servant of all these. He doesn't need to be debtor for all of them. Debtor means runi. That means he is not at all indebted for them. But if you see in the society, people who are following the karma and they are so strict in the karma actually. But bhakti is so superior. And a fan koncham tagiva. So bhakti is so superior. So from this you can understand the value of evil. 1,000 lives you are keep on doing the karma. You are not at all going to get any progress in the devotion life. But even if you for 1 year, if you do the directly devotional service, so that is beneficial. That is beneficial for the Jivatma. That is really very important. That's why Narada Muni was scolding Vasudev in the first canto, 5th chapter. Hey, my dear Vasudev, what you did? In Mahabharata, you encouraged everyone to follow their prescribed duties. Of course, you explained bhakti also, but very minute that is. You give all of energy and time for glorifying the karma and encouraging the people in the karma. But what is the value of this karma? Yeah. So that means from these statements, one should get the faith, shraddha in bhakti. That is the main point. Nana fancy seva. So that is the main point. If one doesn't get the why, that means Shraddha, then what? He has to do the karma. He has to follow his prescribed duties. He has to do. That is said, na tavat karmani kurvita. Here, very important point is coming now. Ataha bhaktyarabhya eva tu swarupatah eva karmatyagah kartavyaha. So that means whenever we start ananya bhakti, so automatically one should leave the karma. So he doesn't have any obligations. Any obligations for the any social obligations. This is my family, my father, my this, my relatives, this, that. That kind of obligation is there. Of course, we are where we are, we should understand ourselves, we should judge ourselves. Do we have such a mentality? So that means this is my obligation to do this because of the relations. Then what will happen? Then that is karma actually. Okay, that's why in the Ananya Bhakti, karma tyagah kartavya, one should leave the karma. Parityajya ityatra sarvadharman parityajya is said na in the Bhagavad Gita. Parityajya ityatra parishabdasya hi tathaiva artha. That means sarvadharman parityajya means pari word is there. Parityajya. Tyajya is not here. Tyajya means leaving. Parityajya means so one should completely. Pari means all. Completely. So one should leave the all the karma. I will take questions. Let me finish one more important point. Then after that, manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Ityadina cha ananyameva bhaktim upadidesha. In the before to this sloka, sarvadharman parityajya. What is that? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. By this sloka also Krishna is promoting or preaching or teaching Ananya Bhakti. So many people, they get the doubt. Being a householder, I have family, I have relatives, I have children, I have so many things. How Prabhu, how this Ananya Bhakti is possible? Whether I am doing Ananya Bhakti or not. But first of all, that is the question. If I am not doing, then being a householder, having so many obligations, so then how I can be a Ananya Bhakta? This kind of question everyone will get. So Prabhu, that means we are not at all doing any pure devotional service. So what is the Shastra is saying? So like this, one will get the question now. Yeah, that is good. That is the right question. Then let us see. So how to solve this? That means Ananya Bhaktas means they are always like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, leave everything and not identifying any Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra or Sannyasi, Vanapasta, Grahastha, Brahmachari, all these obligations, everything is they violated and they said Babaji. That's the concept Babaji came mentioned. No rules and regulations, no ashram rules, no Varna rules. Varna and ashrama rules are out. Simply, they left Swarupatah karma parityajya, karma tyaga. So completely they left over the karma. So like that, if we say in this society, how many people will do the Ananya Bhakti then? Then how to preach the Ananya Bhakti? Everyone should come to Vrindavan and stay back and leave all these designations. So then how? How to understand this? So Prabhu, is there any example? One who is a Grihastha and also Ananya Bhakta. And how he performed. And how, so that we can also follow him. Even actually a member of, even we as a preacher, so we also how promote this Ananya Bhakti. How to guide. So who is a Grihastha, then how? Even we are also, even we are full-time, we are saying, but still I am saying Brahmachari. And I am following the so-called rules and regulations of the Brahmachari. And someone is a sannyasi. This is also Varna and Ashram only, na? So then how? We are also coming under the so-called rules and regulations. Then how Ananya Bhakti is done? So Ananya Bhakti means uninterrupted devotional service. 24 hours, every minute. Direct devotional service, not the doing some karma and offering that result of that karma. No. That activity itself is, by nature, it should be so the devotional service. So okay, this is a real question actually, a real challenge. Then you see here now. In Gautamiya Tantra it is said. I'll answer that question. Whatever I raise the question, and I will be answering. न जपो नार्चनं नैव ध्यानं नापि विधिक्रमः केवलं सततं कृष्णचरणां भोजभाविनाम्. Gautami Tantra, what it is saying? न जपः नार्चनं न एव ध्यानं नापि विधिक्रमः केवलं सततं कृष्णचरणाम्भोज भाविना. So whoever surrendered to the Lord, whoever is worshipping the Lord, for them there are no other activities. They don't need to do any so-called rules and regulations. They don't need to follow. That means this japa, that worship, this kind of meditation, all this vidhi, that means brahmacharis, this kind of, actually if you see Manusmriti, you will understand for all varna and ashrams, so many activities are prescribed. Those are all karma actually, based upon their varna and ashram. Even if you see Mahabharata also, so many prescriptions are given. And here Gautami Tantra is saying, for the surrendered soul, there is no need to follow all those. So, Tata Vishnu Puranepi Bharatam Uddishya. In the Vishnu Purana also, so referring to the Bharata Maharaj, it is said, no answer is coming. How? So this Ananya Bhakti is done, even by the householders. And yeah, ashram. We are in the ashram. Even we are also like in the ashram only. Na? We are not saying Venugopal Das Babaji. I am saying Brahmachari. Or Grihastha. These are also Varna and ashram. So then how? How to perform? Yagneshachyuta Govinda Madhavananta Keshava Krishna Vishnu Hrishikesha Ityaha Raja Sakevalam Nanyat Jagada Maitreya Kinchit Swapnantareshvapi. In Vishnu Purana, about Bharata Maharaj, it is said, Bharata Maharaj is chanting all the time, Yagnesha, O Master of Yagya, O Achyuta, O Govinda, O Madhava, O Ananta, O Keshava, O Krishna, O Vishnu, O Rishikesha. He is always chanting Hari's names. Nanyat Jagada Maitreya. He is always chanting Hari's names. And apart from these Hari's names, he never speaks anything. Kinchit, even thoda sa bhi, little bit also. Swapnantareshvapi, even in the dream, he didn't speak so other than Krishna's holy names. Atra vachanantarasya api anavakashat. That means he didn't speak anything at all. Other sentences? No other sentences. No other sentences. So he didn't have any time. He didn't have any time to utter any other words. Avakasha means time. So anavakasha means not having time. He didn't have any time. to utter any other words. So Sutarameva tattad vachanamaya karmantara parityago angikritaha. So then from this what we should understand? If any activity, that means which is not involving the chanting of the holy names, all that kind of activities he left over. That means he accepted so only such activities which involve the chanting of Lord's names. Any activities which is not involving the Lord's chanting of Lord's holy names, he left over that. So, but he is a king. But he is a king. Then being king, he is dealing with so many things. Then how it became possible to do? So only the activities which involve the Lord's names, chanting of Lord's holy names, and not other activities which doesn't involve the Lord's holy names. How? Being a king, so how he managed? So then it is said, Katam chit kriyamanamapi tannamneiva kritam ityavagatescha sarvatra tad ikshanat shuddha bhaktitvameva angikritam. How then? He is a king. And how he is managing Shuddha Bhakti all the time? Ananya Bhakti. Whenever he is performing any other activities, he did all those activities while chanting Lord's names. All the time he is keep on chanting, whatever he is doing. He didn't stop chanting of the holy name, even in the dream. That means sleep stage, dream stage. So, Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mam anuswara idyacha bharata. Prabhupada says, my chanting is going on 24 hours. This is. So this is the way. Then it is becoming Ananya Bhakti. He did it while chanting the Lord's names. How it is possible? Because he perceived Lord's presence everywhere. This is the real yoga. Perceiving every time in every activity. So Lord's presence. And all the time he is remembering. Ahaituki apratihata. Apratihata means uninterrupted. So in this way, so we can accept in the case of Bharata Maharaj, so he performed Shuddha Bhakti. Now we should understand. So by doing this kind of Shuddha Bhakti, so our bhajan kriya starts. Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. So, Gnana Karmadi Anahuktam is the meaning. So, that kind of mental state, consciousness is needed. Rangamaya Prabhu, your understanding? And Swarnakanti Prabhu.
Oh, yes. Actually, we are thinking that bhakti glory is not so much. If at that level, bhakti going to be start, means always he's thinking of Krishna only, means Lord's name, all the works. So at that time, the bhajana kriya going to be start. So it is indicating that bhakti is so far and it's not so glorious, I think. It's not so
It's not slow.
easily performable.
Bhakti is not so cheap.
Not so
Going back to the Godhead is not so cheap. Whatever we do, and we ash our life on the name of devotion, and simply, so whatever we do, just we cannot stamp it as pure devotional service. Just by stamping your activities as pure devotional service, you will never go back. We are, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are given opportunity to understand this. And this is making us to be serious. And discouraging by this means you are so cheaply thinking. That's a cheap mentality, actually. You are expecting Krishna Prema so cheaply. What do you think about Krishna? So whatever nonsense we do, whatever the way of lifestyle we live, and also we need the result. Is this? No, never actually. Never they will go back to the, just by how consciousness is changed. That's important. Bhakti is not glorious. How he can speak? How much dare you have? It's a very offensive mentality, actually. Bhakti is so glorious. So Ananya Bhakta means this is the state. So once if we do this kind of bhakti, then purification happens. Just pampering us ourselves. Oh, you are doing nice pure devotional service. I am doing pure devotional service. Just by pampering ourselves, we will not be a reality. Actually, reality is the reality. Truth is the truth. Accept the truth. Actually, first. Understand the Acharya's stand. Understand the stand of the scriptures. And understand where is I am. Then you should become serious, and if you want, that is really then devotion starts. You want all enjoyment and you want all the material luxuries, material life, and you have so much attachment for the material life, and also at the end of the life you want to go back to the Godhead with that same kind of consciousness. It's wrong, actually. Yeah.
Prabhu, actually, today I try to understand what is bhakti. Just I understand. It is maybe also my mental speculation. So this time I am thinking in Bhagavad Gita, Lord also, Arjuna also told the Param Brahma Param Dham, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So, yes, I understand. Lord is supreme. His position is no insignificant, and his supreme abode is also magnanimous. But my position is, I am conditioned. I have so lackings. So my question is that yes, my stage is very down. So Tekta Sadharmang Charanambujam Hare. So this solo should not for myself, must not myself. So in this situation, if I left this body, where I will go actually?
You always joke. Where you'll go? So where you'll go, Lord will know actually how much devotion you have. So definitely you'll be having the
Oh, Prabhu,
promotion only.
Prabhu, how much? No devotion, because devotion means Ananya Bhakti.
Actually, see, Karma Mishra Bhakti is also devotion. Even we have seen in the Bhagavad Gita. So someone who is performing Karma Mishra Bhakti, so in his case also purification happens, and he is also getting some kinds of the achievements, like he is going to get the Salokya Mukti, Samipya, so and so and so and so. So our acharyas, especially recent acharya Srila Prabhupada, is encouraging everyone actually. Is encouraging everyone, even if you are so here our acharyas are saying, yes, if you are not having such a faith in the Lord, and if you want to offer the karma, results of the karma, good, do it. Do it, no problem, do it. So then what will happen? So definitely he is also in the track, and gradually he will progress, and he will come to the stage of Ananya Bhakti. Yat karoshi, yat juhoshi, tadasiyat. So Prabhupada is commenting on this. Yes, whatever you do, everything you offer to the Krishna. He is not at all discouraging. If you are not doing Ananya Bhakti, then go out from my movement. Did he say? Did he say like that? No. But we are studying and we are understanding, and we are trying to develop such a consciousness. And if you don't understand the goal, the distance, how much we should travel, then we cannot become alert actually. So that's why we should understand the state of the pure devotional service. Yes, I am also not following. I say I am not just I am speaking means I am the Ananya Bhakti. No, I am also not following. I know that. 24 hours our consciousness is going here and there, this, that. So, but this is the state actually. One should, this is the need actually, need to develop like this. Like that, the devotees, whomever we are studying in the Bhagavatam, great exalted devotees, they are like that. So, wherever you are there, you start. Definitely one day, you will be getting the success. And we are not discouraging anyone. No. And Prabhupada is so liberal. He is so inviting everyone to come and associate the devotees. And he established such a big society and lot of opportunity to discuss this. Now we are sitting and discussing. This is out of mercy of the Srila Prabhupada. Only it is happening. And we are discussing now and trying to understand the subject matter and make them so serious. That means devotees by this kind of discussions. That is the goal actually. We are not discouraging what you are doing. We are not asking you to stop whatever you are doing, but we are just alarming you to become serious more and more. In that spirit, you should take this. So that's why I'm requesting all our devotees to be serious and understand the where we are and where we need to travel. And in the okay, the finals in Padma Purana it is said. Padma Purana dina. First page. यथा पाद्मे सर्वधर्मोज्जिता विष्णो नाम मात्रैक जल्पकाः सुखेन मां गतिं यान्ति न तां सर्वेपि धार्मिकाः न तां सर्वेपि धार्मिकाः. So in the Padma Purana, finally, what he is saying? The destination. So the final destination, that is Krishna, Golok Dham, is attained by that person who always chants holy names. Only the name of Lord Vishnu. And not by the just someone carry out their prescribed duties. So this is the thing. So finally, whoever is having the Shraddha, so that person is having eligibility to do the Ananya Bhakti, not by others. So that's why Tasmat Matantarena api upachitah Shraddhavatah Ananya Bhakti Bhaktyadikaraha Karma Dyanadikarascha. So whoever is getting the Shraddha, he is eligible for the Ananya Bhakti and he is not eligible for doing karma. Okay, we will discuss remaining thing some Monday. Questions? Yeah, Rambhadra.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Yeah, two questions, Prabhuji, regarding the first discussion which we started with the Tektva Swadharmam.
Yes, bro.
I had come across in the Gita commentary on 640 where Prabhupada quotes the same verse and mentions that somebody who's doing prescribed duties and then takes up to Krishna consciousness and he cannot perfect, he'll have to suffer for his reactions for not performing his prescribed duties. And many times this thing had come up in many discussions, why Mother Dayavoti says, Aho Bhakti, what is that verse? Yad Vartate Nam Tubhyam. That verse where Sopacha, is taking the name. So how did he get a Sopacha? How did he get a Sopacha body if he had performed in his previous births, all the activities? How did he get a Sopacha body? So I could not relate the connection. But Prabhupada is very emphatic in his commentary. He says that if he doesn't perfect in Krishna consciousness because of not performing his Varnashram duties, because he has given up that, he has taken up to bhakti, he also suffers reactions for that also, for not performing his varnashram duties. In the 6.40 commentary of Gita.
Yes, bro, I am seeing that if someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. So in the translation, see, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything. That means ko vardapto abhajitam sudhamita. Next, for material prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. A transcendentalist is supposed to give up all material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness. One may argue that by Krishna consciousness, one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if one doesn't attain such a perfect stage, then he loses both materially and spiritually. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duties. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to discharge transcendental activities properly become subjected to these reactions. The Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalist that there need be no worries. That is argument actually he is writing. Till now, it is argument
Even
actually.
though he may be subjected to, correct.
Even though he may subjected to the reaction for not perfect executing prescribed, he is still not a loser. Actually, this is objection, Prabhu. Whatever you are saying, Prabhupada is writing, see. Yeah, that's why he. But Prabhupada is also coming to the same comment. There is no loss actually, even if he stops. Yes. And you will not get any reactions of uncompleted his karma or dharma.
Yeah, my only this was that can you connect this to that verse of Mother Devahuti?
Yeah, that 3 verses, that means Savanaya Kalpate.
Aho sapacho Garyan Yad Vartate Nam Tubhyam, and how could he get a svacha body? Because he, as a reaction for not doing his varnashram duties, he gets a lower body, but he is able to take the name of the Lord. That's why he has completed all the previous, purificatory activities in his previous lives. So the question is, if he's taking the name of the Lord, why did he get that kind of a body, lower body? Because of reactions. So is it, that's how you can connect it?
One second, Prabhu. So our students. Okay, if 1 second, I will take your question. And if you have any other questions by the other students, if not, yeah, you can leave. So officially, yeah, class is over. And actually, I think Gopi Janavalla Prabhu is writing something. What is that? Which may be long back he wrote. So okay. So yes, Prabhu. So we'll be seeing your question. We'll be looking into that. That's the 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, huh?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam. So 33rd chapter, sloka number is. Yannamadeya Shravananukirtanat Yat Prahranat Smaranat Api
not that verse, project. I'm not referring. I'm referring to 333:7.
So next one. Aho Bataswapacho Atah Gariyan Yajjihvagre Vartate Namatupyam Te Pustapaste Juhu Sasnurya Brahmanuchu Nama Gruhnanti. So even this dog eater, oh, glory, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of a dog eater, such a persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of worship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required.
The purport also it is very clear that they have done all Vedic. So how could he get a lower body then?
Acha. Prabhu, I understood your question now.
Yes.
Actually, Prabhu, somehow or other, if a dog eater chants, he will be equal to that actually. That means that much, that means that much piety he is going to get. It's a way of saying that it's not that he performed previous life and he became dog eater. It's not like that. Or otherwise, it's not the pre-qualification to chant the holy name. The sense actually, I understood actually. So this question came even in the class discussion also. So here the understanding is, Prabhu, they are already performed. That's why they took holy name. It's not, should not take like that. They took holy name and they are becoming of performer of all these.
But in the purport, Prabhupada is very, very clear. Na? One can, as a student of a law class, it is to understand he has already graduated from general education like that. So
Yeah.
similarly, makes the same argument that.
That means it doesn't mean that the, like example, I got some opportunity and I did directly MA in Sanskrit. Then it is equal to the performing of BA and Prakshastri and others, everything. Like that. So like that actually. So being a chanting, that means such a dog eater and chanting the holy name is so powerful of chanting holy name, and it is equating him to be the performer of all this in many, many lifetimes. That is just showing the glory of the holy.
Holy, yes.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for kind and patient hearing. So we'll end here our class. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।
His great Swayam Gopal Prabhuji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
हरे
ki
कृष्ण
jai.
जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।